Welcome to my off-grid adventures. I'm Frank, and it's another beautiful, brisk 13-degree morning here in Michigan today. This has been an exciting week on our off-grid property. I have to get used to saying 60 acres now instead of 40 because we just closed yesterday on an additional 20 acres to the back of our property. And we also got this barn installed by Amish builders just yesterday. So it's been a big week. And in this video, I'm going to take you through the entire process from planning, ordering, laying the foundation, and having this barn delivered. I'll walk you through it, show you what we ended up with. Very happy with it and excited about how this is going to help us get more out of our off-grid property. Let's start by seeing how all of this came together. I needed a place to store my tractor and implements. Well, I use that word need a lot. I said that I needed a tractor, now I'm saying I needed a barn. I guess those aren't absolute necessities, but I'll still use the word. I needed a place for my tractor and my implements, but I wasn't sure at first what size to get or even what type to get. I was also very intimidated about the zoning process and getting the permits, but I couldn't even apply for a permit until I knew what size I wanted. There were 4 must-haves about the size of this barn. It had to fit the tractor. It had to fit in the space that I had for this on my property. It had to fit within my budget. I've been spending a lot lately, but I do have limits. I had a budget set for this. And it had to be something that could be produced. And that wasn't as easy as you might think. Well, since the size of my tractor required an 8 by 8 foot opening, that was one thing that I had to have. The size of the area that I wanted to place this barn was restricted to no more than 20 by 40 feet. And my budget was only going to cover something around that 20 to 40 feet size anyway. The last thing to figure out was what was even possible to build. So I went to the internet for inspiration and direction. I went to Google and searched for Amish barns and sheds, and I also searched for pole barns. And then I went to Facebook Marketplace, and I spent more time on Facebook Marketplace than I did on Google. By the way, there are a lot of frauds out there, especially in the pole barn industry. If the seller's profile was created within the last year, that's one red flag. But also if the person who you end up corresponding with through Facebook Messenger ends up being a dude from Florida instead of a lady from Michigan, like it showed in the profile, those are too many red flags, and I ended up having that happen to me, and I bailed on that conversation. As I was going through Google, and mostly as I was going through Facebook, I started to screenshot all of the things that I thought would fit within my requirements and the things that I liked aesthetically as well. I took screenshots of all the styles and shapes that looked like they would work. And then I ended up kind of combining all the things I liked about a number of different ones into my own vision, something that didn't exist anywhere exactly, but I put it together the way that I thought would work best for our needs. I threw all of those ideas that I'd gathered from others and a few of the ideas I came up with on my own into a rudimentary drawing that I sent to someone who works for an Amish builder but has Facebook access, someone I'd worked with quite a few times before. And the first time that I thought of this, I just had my iPhone. I didn't have any paper, so I tried with my finger to draw these things, and it's really awful. But he got the gist of what I was looking for. The next day I used a piece of paper and drew a little bit better plan, but then they sent me back their own drawing of what they thought I had in mind, and it was exactly what I was thinking of. I love this Amish builder because they are truly a custom builder. You can select something that they build a lot of, or you can have something built from scratch, and that's what I did here. I was able to select the style, the size, the materials, the colors, everything. Here's what I decided that I wanted. I wanted a 16 by 32 foot barn with an 8 by 8 foot door at the front and a 7 by 7 roll-up door on the side, with 10 foot sidewalls, a 13 foot peak, with a metal roof and walls, but no floor. He quickly responded with his drawings and quote, and thankfully it ended up being right within my budget like I was hoping it would be. Next, I had to get the permit from the county. This was so much easier than I feared. It took all of 15 minutes or so to fill out the form, and I sent it in with a check in the mail, and once they got it, it was approved within hours, and I had my permit and was ready to go. I placed the order with the Amish builder on February 1st, and they gave me an estimate of delivering it on February 23rd, which was exactly when they delivered it. But during that window of time between the 1st and the 23rd, I had a lot of work to do. I had already picked out the spot for where I wanted the barn to be, but it needed to be cleared of snow because at that time it had over 6 inches from a recent winter snowstorm. I had to clear it, then I had to mark the perimeter with those orange marking sticks. so that the person who would be delivering the foundation would know exactly where I wanted it. I've used this landscape company before in the past and was really happy with them, so I'm glad to be able to give them repeat business. However, here was another hiccup. There are load restrictions in the winter in Michigan, and those were in effect, which meant that even though this normally could have brought in one load, it had to be split into 3. So it took him a lot more time, but thankfully he was willing to do that for me. So after 3 loads, he brought all that crushed concrete in, spread it, leveled it, and packed it, and it was ready now for the barn to arrive. Well, the foundation of crushed concrete is complete. It's been delivered, leveled, and packed, so it's ready for the Amish barn to be delivered next. He did a really good job. He did the same, this was the same guy I hired to do my, what I call my garage. He did a good job with it too. So I was glad to be able to work with the same person again. Yeah, this is so exciting. I'm really looking forward to having so much more storage for the tractor and implements, and it's going to be great. My car said it was 62 degrees, and it is February 21st. So what a beautiful day to be doing work outside. I'm going to change the oil next in my generator, do a little bit more work for the business, and call it a day. I'll see you next when we're having the barn delivered. Even though we had a window of February 1st through February 23rd for this to be built, it actually only took them 2 days to build it. I was shocked to learn that they had just started on it the day before it arrived. I learned today that this is the tallest building that this Amish builder has ever done. And there's a reason for that. It has a really hard time getting down the road and getting underneath the power lines. It barely made it. And with it being 16 feet wide, this was also challenging to get down the road. In fact, it was even too wide to fit through my double gate at the entrance, so they had to get creative with getting it into our property. They were incredibly careful with how they positioned this. They're definitely perfectionists. They wanted to get it square with the space, level, and just perfect. I was really grateful for how much time and attention they put into this. And here's how it turned out. Beautiful, isn't it? The 2 screenshots that you see at the top here are the ones that I sent for inspiration. I wanted the shape and size of the one on the left, but the colors of the one on the right with different dimensions to fit my needs. And it turned out great, just like I envisioned. Let me start by sharing the dimensions of our barn. The sidewalls are 10 feet high. It's 16 feet wide at the front and 32 feet long in its depth. The doors on the front are 8 by 8, and the roll-up door in the back is a 7 by 7, and it has 3 windows that are 18 inches by 27, I believe. Everything is metal from the siding and the roof. The only thing that isn't is the front door, obviously. As you can see, lots of room in here. We've got room up above. I haven't measured what the peak is, but I would imagine it's about 12, 13 feet high. The windows give just enough light, and I'm going to be putting some light filtering shades on those. They do open and they have a screen, which is nice. So much bigger than the shed that we were using before. We went with a crushed concrete floor. Not sure yet exactly how I can use all the space above, but I definitely intend to use it. Nice, isn't it? Excited about this. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, would you please give it a thumbs up? That really helps my channel. And subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this, or if you enjoy watching videos about off-grid living, RV lifestyle, tractor use, or various product reviews for off-grid living. Please subscribe. We'd love to have you join us. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.